back in the day, did you watch crime shows? And if so, what was your go-to?
Yes, I've always watched a plethora of crime shows, and I would say my go-to that I used to binge watch a lot with my niece, really two shows, Snapped on Oxygen, which is where my current crime show Killer Relationship is, and First 48 on A&E. Those two shows were like my Saturday binge shows that I would watch for several hours at a time.
When you thought about officially launching into television, did
Mhm.
you think that that was the route you were going to go?
No, I really wanted to. I was working in New York as a prosecutor. And when I left the Manhattan DA's office, I started doing television and just legal analyst work on the cable news network. So I would be on CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, just talking legal stuff, not politics. And then the George Zimmerman trial happened in Florida. And I covered that case every day of the trial for all three of those stations. And that's what really launched my career in TV because I was hired by one of the networks after covering that trial.
Not only are you helping people figure out their own mess, but you're also showing us how things can go south with Killer Relationship. Why do you think it's important to watch?
Well, if you can handle the true crime genre, because the stories are heavy, it's really interesting because we can all relate to having relationships. We've had them throughout our lives. And when you talk about love relationships, I found the series fascinating in a few ways. One of them is if you've had love relationship, you've had romantic encounters, they don't always work out the way you originally anticipated. Sometimes you may go through a breakup, sometimes you may go through a divorce, sometimes you may have to go your separate ways. For these cases, what was so interesting is for the individuals involved, a breakup simply wasn't enough. Divorce wasn't enough. They felt that someone had to die at the end of that relationship. So we really take these cases and we explore with the viewers why that happened and really try to get into the psychology of the killer's mind and just go through this process of unraveling how they started out in such a wonderful, loving, blossoming, budding love, and it ends up in death.
Your relationship is something that people are looking at, and basing their relationships off of. So do you find it hard to not misstep and just to be in love in front of everybody?
Well, I my husband and I understand we both work in the public eye. He's been in the public eye much longer than I have. He's an R&B singer, Kenny Lattimore. I think you interviewed him several months ago when he released his new album. But we're both just used to being in the spotlight. But what we share what we want to share about our love and our relationship. But we're really private people, so we don't feel this tremendous amount of pressure to be couples goals or role models. We're real people, but we do feel that it's important to represent all that's positive about love and Black love. We are happily married, and we just celebrated. We've been together for 3 years. We celebrated our second wedding anniversary. So we do share with the world that we are in love, that we are happy. We do have a very healthy relationship. I think those things for us are important because we want people to know it's possible. I dated for a really long time. I was single out in these streets for a number of years. And so, I wrote a book, Sis Don't Settle. It just came out last year. It's one of the reasons why I wrote the book. We understand that we can be a source of encouragement for other people. But aside from that, we're really private with many aspects of our lives. And I always tell people, you really have to be careful choosing celebrities, people you don't know as your role models, because you really don't know what's going on in people's lives behind closed doors. Be realistic with who you choose as your role models. So at the same time, we believe we represent positively, love, all those things. We don't feel the pressure to be the end all be all couples goals for other people.